Hello to everyone watching this video. This is my first real update for the development of Foldrum, a turn-based strategy game that's kinda like a mixture between Fire Emblem and Dark Souls. I want to be able to produce these updates relatively consistently so that people can see the game's progress, but realistically what I'll be able to manage with these tutorials and doing development at the same time is an update every 2 weeks or so. That being said, this will give me plenty of time for pretty major updates, so there will always be something new and interesting to show. Probably starting out, I should just tell you a bit about the game. Foldrum, as I said before, is a mixture of Dark Souls and Fire Emblem. What I mean by that is it's a turn-based, tile-driven combat game. Kinda like the Fire Emblem series, but much quicker, and much more easy to die. That's not to say it's ridiculously hard, just that it punishes you more for your mistakes, and rewards you more for your clever successes. In Foldrum, you play as one character on a map against multiple enemies. The enemies for all intents and purposes act as your traditional Fire Emblem army, but you are alone with one character to control. However, this character has multitudes of abilities that even out the playing field. To survive, you must utilize these abilities. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that it's one hit, one kill in Foldrum. That means if you're hit once by the enemy, you die and lose the level. If you strike the enemy once, however, you defeat them immediately as well. That is the crux of the gameplay of Foldrum. Very intense, turn-based, tile-driven combat, where any mistake means certain death, but any mistake on the enemy's part does the same. The look of Foldrum kind of resembles the late medieval Russian era. A lot of people don't actually know this, but the western Russian region at the time was split between the republics of Novgorod and Pskov, as well as the Principality of Moscow and various other principalities. It's a very different picture from the very unified Russian state we see today. They were similar to a collection of small Germanic countries in the 1800s. I personally found that it was really neat to look at a map of the region and not to see Russia in big bold letters, but a collection of different countries and city-states, all with their own ideas and thoughts on how a country should be run, and where it should go in the future. Though the game doesn't take place in our world, the game world does heavily resemble the medieval Russian era in a lot of ways, and will play on certain events that took place then. This blends really nicely into the story of Foldrum. Foldrum, when it releases, will have a campaign, and that campaign will focus around this mysterious object referred to as the Foldrum. It is a seemingly unimportant stone with a symbol carved into it, and for a world without magic like Foldrum's, it would seem to be more sentimental to a person than anything. Yet for Burislav, the main character of the story, it is worth a noble position in a major house, according to what was promised to him. So he goes to steal a seemingly irrelevant stone, thinking that he's headed for a comfortable life of a noble, and finally can escape the endless struggle to simply survive to the next day. However, this is not what's written for the character and the seemingly innocuous stone. The stone is actually far more terrifying than what he could personally imagine, because the Foldrum is alive. And just as with the Abyss, when you stare into the Foldrum, it stares right back at you.